the herd and Kim Herrmann will give him a test.
You know, a lot of jackets out today. If you didn't get a chance to see them when we pan the crowd a little bit, Kim owns a plumbing. And they've all got the Herrmann's jackets on. Look at that good-looking group.
Yeah, Dave Grosser and his wife Loretta and their 2 lovely children.
Dave, of course, the proprietor here at Greenhills Lanes, and fine-looking family.
His daughter's name is Sarah and Crystal.
Beautiful-looking children.
Len Ramsey, frame 1.
Picks up right where he left off last week, Tommy.
Took the words right out of my mouth, David, that's for sure. Boy, he just crushed that, all 10 of those pins.
Lenny, last week we talked after we went off the air, and he was telling me he found it hard to believe that he could feel so relaxed and so comfortable, and yet hear me talk about how powerful he looked. Even today, he looks a little bit more lackadaisical than last week, Bo. I don't know if it's just me or what. It looks like he's not quite as charged up.
You know, that could be, you know, last week he almost rolled that 279 game. Maybe that has something to do with it. He's real relaxed, and, you know, he almost shot the 300, and he was ready for it this week. It looks like he messed it up, though.
Well, he did say before we went on the air that he was bowling in New York this week. As a matter of fact, he got in, I believe it was late yesterday in the drive and everything. Had to take a little bit out of it.
Well, you know, we've had a new king crowned. I believe it's the last 4 weeks in a row. I believe. Of course, Bo will be able to.
How about that, Bo?
Verify that or nix it, either way.
Well, since Wayne Sherman lost his title at the Penn House, Mike Whalen was the king, and then the next time Don Scudder won, and then Tim Sharp. You're right. And then last week, of course, Len Ramsey.
There you see the crew, or the herd as they're called, Kim Herrmann. They are here today to help this man register 12 perfect strikes.
They're doing their part by cheering him, and
You
he's
betcha.
certainly doing his part by knocking them down and giving them something to cheer about.
That's absolutely right.
I asked you about Herman's Hermits last week, Dave. You never answered me on whether you remember that band or not.
We'll talk about it after the show, Tom. Kim Herrmann leaving the ball wide this time, leaving the 3-6-9 spare. Not the easiest spare in the world to pick up, but at least that choppable one, the 5-pin, is not looking at him right now. There you see him. Should hit the frontmost pin, in this case the 3, just slightly left of center, and let the ball hook through and get the back pin. Not like that. Not like that. We replay strikes all the time. Let's show you what happens. If the ball starts going away, here you see it. It's going to catch the right-hand side of the 3. It's going to deflect. 3-pin goes in front. 6-pin goes behind by about an inch. Voila. Leave the 9. Not the way you want to do it.
Especially not against this guy, because the way we saw him roll him last week, he doesn't have it yet here today, but that could be just a matter of time.
Wow, what a shot. The crash 7. Can't throw him any better than that, Tommy. Just a tough break. He's going to shoot across lane. Should pick a sparrow.
Well, we've got some of our sponsors present today.
We sure do. Tony Plank is here from Hudepohl Brewery. And Ken Rippinger's out of town, but we'll say hi to Ken anyway. Tom Schiller is here from West Phillips Ford with that wonderful-looking wagon out there, the 1987 Ford Aerostar. Looks like we're not going to give it away today, though.
Not today.
There's Tony next to Fran Ruggieri from Coleraine Bowl.
Boy, you said we had them hanging off the rafters last week. They had to install some new rafters to put these people on. We've got a crowd here today.
Sure do. Very colorful crowd, too.
Wow.
After coming back with a fantastic ring 7, look at it here. Is this ball tough? Is this ball strong? Right over the 6th board. Perfection personified. 1-2, completely taken out. 10-pin last. What he has done at this point is close the gap to 7 pins. We're watching them all the time. Kim Herrmann to get right back and maintain that 7-pin lead. Watch the pin action on this shot. The head pin center of your screen is going to go directly to the right-hand wall, come across. That's the head pin going left, going right to left to see if there's anything left. Tommy, that's the ball we will want to see the rest of this match, and we'll have a couple of big 200s.
Great camera shot on that ball right there. Looking at it straight from behind. He's had a couple like that.
What a break. Not that the ball wasn't worthy of the break, but watch it here on the replay. Kim Herrmann is going to be unsure about this reaction. A little body English to help it up. Now, the last 2 pins you're going to see standing is 5 and the 10. He knows it needs help. There's your 5-10 standing right there. The head pin takes out the 5. The 6-pin lays in the channel and takes out the 10. Great break, Kim Herrmann. 7-pin lead.
Len Ramsey going to try to answer back.
The right-hander's solid 4. Lenny leaves the 6-pin, caused by just a slightly too high of a hit.
You know, our king last week, Tim Sharp, looks like he's got things going again, qualifying.
He sure does. You know, here in qualifying, he almost made the show again last week, and he rolled a 299 game. Almost another 300.
Len picks up the spare. But with those back-to-back strikes by Kim, Lenny had trimmed it, you said, to 7 pins, but...
Yeah, the Kim Herrmann, with that double, increased his lead to 17 pins. We're midway through our championship match, Tommy. It's not over yet. 17 pins is less than 2 marks. We know Len Ramsey can get back in this match.
Called that.
Sure.
You know, we mentioned earlier that the ladies are going for additional prize money next week because it is the grand finals, and our men's division is going for a considerable amount of prize money. Of course, we have a lot more men entries than we do women, and women only went 6 weeks. But the men are going for $1,600 for first place next week and $800 for second.
Ooh.
That'll work. That'll work. What a shot. His friends like it. Kim Herrmann, 6th frame, wants to maintain that 17-pin lead. He wants to increase it. He just did by 10. He is now 27 pins ahead of Lenny Ramsey, last week's king.
And he looks like he's starting to get into the groove that he had last game early through the first 7 frames.
You bet, Tommy. You bet. He's looking good, he's looking sharp, and he's making shots. That's what it's all about.
4 in a row. Knock him down.
Take a look at this shot on the replay. You want to see power? This is power. We're going to see another messenger pin, but it's to no avail. There's nothing there. The 1-2 pocket. There's the head pin coming off, taking the 10 out, and there you see it sliding across. As if there were anything left, there wouldn't have been after the head pin finished its route. Lenny Ramsey has to strike. He's got to strike now and not quit.
He gets the strike. And, you know, let's take a look at the score here.
Well, there you see it. 27 pins is the difference between the 2 players. Both players strikes in the 6th and 7th frame. 3 frames left, less than 30 pins. It's still a match. Don't go away.
You know, Tom, Fran Ruggeri's Bowling Center, Coleraine Bowl, is going to be hosting something really neat. The 8th regional qualifier for the Senior Olympics is going to be there on Friday, April the 24th. The deadline is closing soon, so any of the seniors is ages, well, they got so many categories, 55 to 90 plus, can bowl in this tournament.
Critical shot. Watch the 4 pins. Second one from the left-hand side of your screen. Up and around. Too much power on that ball. Critical miss. Terrible, terrible frame. 8th frame. Kim Herrmann stays clean. We've got another new king this week, but we've got some paper left.
You know, we mentioned very quickly the Senior Olympics. Bowling is one of the most popular events in the 21 different sports that are in this event. They advance on to the state finals and the national finals, too.
Herrmann took him to the last week of the season, and he won't come back automatically next week, ladies and gentlemen, but he has just cinched his first kingship of this year.
You know, he started the show last year as our king, and he's ending the show this year as our king.
That's pretty nice. Nothing wrong with that.
Heck no. And, of course, he will be one of many.
39.
Vying next week, our final telecast. And if he keeps it going like he's got it going now, he's going to be real tough to beat.
Exactly. On the replay, we can see it. He is making shots very consistently right around that sixth board, letting the ball do the work. He's letting the ball roll in. The carry is there. The power is there. That's the way you do it. That's what you want to see. A can opener out of Len Ramsey. Unfortunately, it's a little too late. We mentioned before about we're all going to be at this Big Brother, Big Sister thing. Anybody would like to make a pledge for, again, we said Tommy, Bo, or myself, mail your pledge in, the amount per pen you want to pledge, to my company, Jarrow Welding Supplies, P.O. Box 12546, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45212, and we will contact you later to let you know how much you pledged. Awesome strike, Lenny Ramsey. He can finish with a 200, but just too much of a player today. Kim Herrmann was here to win, and he's going to go away with the kingship.
You know, Kim averages 200, but he has been well above that today.
He sure has. 228, 244.
And how would he finish, Dave, if he were to strike out in the 10th today?
Well, if he strikes out in the 10th, Tommy, he will have a brilliant game, this final game of 265.
Whew. Yeah, I'd say it's a little more than 200.
Oh, you betcha.
Yeah. Len's average is at 204.
And with that strike, he cinched up a 2-0.
Go with his average.
Right. He destroyed that last week, though. Boy, he was something.
He shot 237, 279, and 220 last week because he was in all three matches.
I'd like to just mention quickly the scores here last week were fantastic. We had, in addition to the people that made the show, there were 10 additional 700s, one of which was rolled by an old-timer, Rick Martin. He's probably been participating in these qualifiers longer than I have, if that's possible. Rick Martin shot a 760 last week to miss making the show.
Well, there's another old-timer who was one of those 700-plus.
Well, yeah, I was even fortunate enough to shoot 7-0. Wouldn't be enough to beat this guy today. Kim Herrmann looks great. Two more in the 10th frame. Bo, he will get 265, a very creditable showing.
That's right. He's got a very nice 700 series developing here.
There would be nothing that would make the herd any happier than 10 down right there. Nope. 9 of them. But they still like it anyway.
You betcha. A win is a win, whether it's 180, but somehow when it's 250, it feels even better.
Congratulations to Kim Herrmann.
I wanted to very quickly mention Michelle Brown, our tournament director, is here today, and we want to thank her for coming out this morning and bringing all the stuff for us at the show.
Well, congratulations to Kim. We'll hear from him in just a moment on the Hudepohl King of TV Bowling.